Hi everybody, I'm Adriana and welcome back to my channel. Today I am so excited to be talking to you guys because today we're talking all about how to make your dreams come true. And this is something I'm so passionate about because I have had the immense honor of being able to experience so many awesome things in my internships and my whole career journey. And I just want to share how I got that. I want to share my strategies and my tactics with you guys so you guys can land those internships and those jobs that just blow your mind and make you so excited because that is what you deserve. And so here we are, we're gonna do it. But before we do this, why am I even qualified to talk about this? Well, let me tell you. So I am what I would call a professional intern, meaning I've been an intern at many different places for a very long time now, and I am currently a content engagement intern with Universal Orlando. I did the Disney College program last year, and I have been through the process for a couple of Disney professional internships, along with a long history of other internships that you can look out on my LinkedIn if you are really interested in why I should be talking about this. But primarily, I just have a lot of experience that I would just love to share with you to help you get those jobs and internships that just make you excited and happy and feel amazing inside and excited to go to work every day. So we have a lot to cover here, so I'm gonna try and make it as high level and brief as possible so that you guys can really absorb everything. So this information, I'm going to break down everything in a way that I think is going to be really applicable to anyone in any career field and on any stage of their internship seeking journey. So whether you're a freshman in college and you're looking out for future you, which is awesome, go you, that's exactly what you should be doing. Or if you're a senior in college and you're just like, man, I'm about to graduate and I don't have any experience, where do I start? This is for you too. So the information is going to be applicable to anyone. My examples are going to be pretty personal because they are me, they're my personal experience, and my personal experience is with public relations, social media, communications, and content creation and engagement. So that is my experience. So if you're into that, it's going to be so perfect for you, and I hope it helps you even more. But if you are not and you're on a different journey, I think it's going to help you too. Now that we've gotten that mouthful out of the way, let's go ahead and get into our first point. Okay, everybody, so whether you are fresh in your college journey or whether you are right at the end looking out into the big scary future, the first place we are going to start in our very first bullet point is the job description. So the first stage in getting your dream job is knowing what the heck that dream job is, right? So go ahead and look out into the internet and look at all of the things that excite you. Look up any job that makes you excited or interested or anything like that. Look them up, look for those job descriptions, print them out. So print a copy out and then copy and paste everything on that job description onto a Word document. This Word document is going to be a beast later, but it is going to be, you're going to be so thankful for this Word document in the future, and you're just gonna thank me and you're gonna love me. So just hold on because this document's about to evolve, but we're gonna get to that later. So you've got these job descriptions. Along with that, go ahead and look at people who you think they have such a cool life, they have such a cool job, I wanna do what they're doing. Look them up on LinkedIn, look up their job title, and then look for their job description and print that out and then place into that Word document as well. That's where we're gonna start because the first place to start is in knowing what you want. That is the biggest thing. That's what I did when I was picking out what I wanted to do, and I was looking for the things that excited me. Whatever excited me, I saved it. So now that you've got these job descriptions, basically what you're gonna do from here is see what they're looking for. What do they want out of you? You're gonna look at that job summary. What are they doing the day-to-day? You're gonna look at those job qualifications, the preferred qualifications, the requirements, and you're gonna see, okay, what do they want out of these applicants? You know, like, what do they want to see? What skills do they want you to have? What software knowledge, anything like that, and what do they want me to do and what do they want me to have experience in so I can go out and get it. Just kind of getting experience blindly sometimes works out really well, but you can really make sure that you're preparing yourself for that dream job and internship one day if you are catering your experience and yourself to it. So if a job description says they want you to have banging written communication skills, which it would never say it like that, but if they say that they want you to have like amazing written communication skills, then you know you need to go out and go get some and have a lot of really awesome writing experience to show them in the future. So that is where we are starting. Now that we have that job description, we know those preferred qualifications, you know those skills and those softwares and everything that they want you to know to have this job. You know exactly what you need to go get. Now it's time to go get it. And I think the best place to start is your college campus. So this next point is going to be going out and getting the campus involvement and experience. So here is where we start putting things into motion. And so I think that the internship world has really evolved a little away from where it should be. And so an internship is supposed to get you experience so that you can go get a job, because you can't get a job without experience. And so the internship is the time for you to get experience. But internships have kind of become now so competitive, sometimes even more competitive than getting a job, that you need experience before you can get the experience to get a job. And so it's become a little more complicated. And so your campus is the perfect place to get that foundational experience to prepare you for the competitive internships. So we're gonna start on our college campuses. So now that you know what you need from those preferred qualifications, you know what experience you need to get, you know exactly what kind of professional knowledge you need to have, now it's time to go get it on your college campus. So the best place that I think is to start is, so I am a Gator, I go to the University of Florida, and on our college website, we have a website that has a list of every single organization on campus. It's hefty and it is beautiful and it is so helpful for people like you and me trying to get that experience. And so utilize these resources to find those professional organizations that are going to help you get the experience to get these dream jobs. So whether it is like, if you are I'm in the College of Journalism and Communications as a public relations major, and so they are so many different organizations. Like there's the agency, which is a student-run agency on campus, and they work with brands and people get a ton of really awesome experience from there. Or there is I don't know, there's student-run advertising agencies, there's student-run all of this and that. And then there's also just organizations that are just there to help you develop your skills. You know, there's organizations to help you with broadcasting skills and film skills and writing skills, social media skills, all these things. And again, very tailored examples to my personal experience. But if you're a teacher, there are organizations for teachers, there are organizations for lawyers and pre-law and all of that. So go out and look for those organizations that are going to help you get that experience under your belt. Okay, so on top of that, these are going to help you get those preferred qualifications, but those really specific ones, there are so many different ways that you can get them. For example, one thing that was always on the preferred qualifications for the internships that I was just over the moon for, that I wanted so badly, was strong verbal, well, yes, verbal communication, but written communication skills, which means writing. And in school, I had taken reporting, which made me such a better writer, but it only gave me a couple things to put under my belt. You know, it only gave me a couple articles, a couple writing pieces to show to a hiring manager, and it was a lot of newsworthy, news-heavy stuff. And it didn't really show that I could speak to diverse audiences, meaning I can talk to old people, I can talk to young people, I could talk to businessmen, I could talk to sorority girls, I can talk to theme park fans, or all of that, you know? So I wanted something that was going to show that I could write for a bunch of different people and I could adapt my voice to that, because that is what my internships wanted. And so I found a really great organization on campus called Her Campus, and it is an online magazine for women and really everybody, very, very inclusive. So I feel like that's just, it's called Her Campus, but it's really for everybody who was willing to read it. But they basically just have so many opportunities to give people a chance to work on their skills. And so I applied to be a features writer for Her Campus, and I wrote my butt off. We had an article due every single week and 3 pitches, and so I was able to just pitch 3 articles that I was passionate about, that I wanted to write about, that I thought I could really flex my writing skills with. And then I had one due every week, and from that I got so much writing experience, and that was just a campus organization that helped me get so much experience and so much to put on my portfolio to show future hiring managers and recruiters, etc. So these organizations exist. You just need to go out and find them, and there are so many resources for you to go do that. On top of that, it doesn't even have to be an organization that is relevant to what you're going to school for or what you want to do in your career. For example, a girl in my sorority, I can't remember what the organization was called, but it was an organization for student engineers who were interested in working for places like NASA, like super smart, sciencey, engineering people. Not me. I do words, I do photos. We love that, but not space. And so she reached out to me and I was like, what? And she reached out to me to see if I was interested in helping them run their social media accounts, so that they could recruit new members, recruit more members. And there are so many opportunities like that, and there's so many organizations that want to get new members, and all you have to do is reach out to them, send them an email and be like, hey, I would love to run your social media. And look at that. That is an opportunity for you to get experience right there. And it's just right in front of your face. You just need to go out and get it, because they do exist. And if anything, it shows that you can be more diverse and that you can show up to the challenge of being someone who does communications, and you are doing it for spacey engineering people, you know? So that is one way to do it. Another way is, if you look at the organizations you're already in. If you're in a sorority or a fraternity, that is a huge opportunity to develop your skills. There is something for everybody there, and with large organizations like that, there are so many moving pieces that you can be a part of. And in my sorority, when I was in college, or I am in college, sort of, but yeah, my sorority, when I started my whole communications journey, I applied to be webmaster, and I had very little to none experience. I don't know why they picked me. They just knew I was a creative person, and that was enough. And most of the time, that is enough. And I got to really own our social channels. I got to own our website, make it my own, design it, and really create the brand for our sorority, do our YouTube videos and all of that. And I got to own that for a really long time, and that was super helpful for me too, because that was experience that I got to put on my portfolios and on my resumes and talk to hiring managers and recruiters about. That really helped show that I did have experience, even if it wasn't from a formal internship, but from places on my campus. So look for those organizations, look for those campus resources, and seek them out, because they are there and they can totally help you. Moving forward, our next point, which is very relevant to the campus involvement and experience, is networking. Okay, you're gonna see the type 3 Enneagram come out of me, and you're gonna see that public relations person come out of me, because networking, if I could tell you a million times, I would, about how important it is. Networking, if you don't know what that means making connections with people. And I don't just mean like making connections so that you can use them later, but making true, genuine connections, making friendships, getting to know about people, caring about people, because that's important. And chances are all of your classmates, you're gonna see them again at some point during your professional journey, because they are all looking for the same jobs you are, likely, and you're all in the very same time, like very similar times in your life. So it's good to get to know each other, because you can help each other. And one thing I do want to mention is that it's very easy when you're in college to view your peers as your competition when it is peak season to apply to jobs and internships and all that. But looking at people as competition is never ever going to help you, ever. If something is meant for you, it's meant for you, and I'm such a strong believer in that. And while competition does exist, I don't think you should ever look at the people around you as competition. If anything, you should be encouraging each other and helping each other get to where you want to be, even if it is the same thing, because there's something out there for everybody, and your place is going to you're gonna find your place, basically. Everybody's gonna find their place, and it is better to look at people as your team members, and where you can lift each other up and encourage each other and be resources for each other, rather than working against each other, because that's just never good. So look at your classmates and the fellow people in those organizations as your team members. You are on their team, they're on your team, and help each other out. So now that I've gotten that out of the way, because I think that's a really important mindset to have, is now what you want to do is those people could know someone who have your dream job. They could know someone who has a dream internship that you want. Those people could have the dream internship you want or are applying to it too. And you guys can work together to make those dreams happen, you know? And so look at these people, get to know each other, and then go and follow them on LinkedIn. I'm gonna talk about LinkedIn a lot here because for a lot of professional careers, it is a really, really, really great tool. Sorry, I'm looking at my notes if you're wondering where the heck is she looking. But yes, now that you know these people and you're friends and you've gotten to know each other, go ahead and go to their LinkedIns. If they have internships that you want and jobs that you want, or they've done them in the past, or they know someone who has, look at their LinkedIn, see what the job title was, if that aligns with what you want, and then look at the bullet points they have underneath that job title and how they described what they did, because LinkedIn is very much like an online resume. It's basically your resume but digitally. Look at all of the things, all the responsibilities they had in that job, and go ahead and copy and paste all of that and put it into that document that we had talked about before. Yes, we're talking about the document again. It's gonna come full circle. Go ahead and copy and paste it into that document, because if they had that dream job and they did all of that in their dream job, some of it may very closely align to what was on that job description, but some of it may be a little different, and it may be that insider knowledge that you need to help you set yourself apart. And like, oh, I know you didn't say that you wanted this, but I know that this person had it and you really liked it, and so I'm gonna make sure that I have that too. And so it's basically something like that. And you can always reach out to these people. When it comes to networking and getting to know people, don't be afraid to reach out to strangers. Obviously, do it safely and in public places, but don't be afraid to reach out to strangers. I think I could only encourage it really because I've only had good experience with it. So one example of me reaching out to someone who I know and why networking is so great. So in her campus, there was a girl who I didn't really know much about. I knew who she was. We were mutuals on Instagram. I was like rooting for her from afar, but I didn't really know her. And I saw that she got like the internship that I wanted, was like the dream internship, and I'm in it right now. But yeah, and I saw that she had it, and I was on my Disney college program and she was here, and I was like, you know what, I'm going to this place, I'm gonna invite her because I could use a friend. And so we got to know each other a little bit, we got to talk, and now I can say like we know each other, like we're friends, all that. And so that helped me because when the time came to apply for the same internship that she had, she was really able to give me some insider knowledge and how I can really set myself apart. And then eventually she could root for me or anything like that, you know? So that is a great way. Don't ever look at people, like don't network to use people, because that's not nice, but definitely people are resources, and when you get to know them, those resources are available to you. But that is an example of when you know someone. There's also the time where you don't know anybody. And so I told you guys a little bit that I did the Disney College program last year. And so I was in children's activities on the Disney College program, and maybe you're watching this because you are doing the Disney College program and you want a Disney professional internship, and I feel you, I get it. This is how we're gonna get this for you. And so one great resource that you have if you work for Disney or you're on the Disney College program is Roster. And so when you are a cast member at Disney, you have access to the Hub, which is the hub of all things that you need to know as a team member. And one aspect of the Hub is a thing called Roster, and it is where you can look up any cast member that works for Disney. Anybody at all. Even some actors from like Disney Channel are on there. And it has like their Disney email and some different information about them. Some people really develop their profile and some people don't really, but you can look at their job title and you can look at some other information on there. But the golden nugget of information here is their name, any contact information, and their job title. If somebody has the dream internship you want, do not hesitate to reach out to them. If you want, reach out to them through there, take their name, look them up on LinkedIn. Again, copy and paste what they do at their job and put it into that document, but reach out to them. For example, when I was on my Disney College program, I reached out to this girl, never met her in my life, never knew her once, but she had the job that I wanted, and I was like, I need to talk to this person, whether I know her or not. And so I reached out to her, and I very politely was like, hey, you have a super cool job on my Disney College program. I saw that you did the Disney College program. How did you get to where you are? Here's a little bit about me. I sent her my resume and my website, and I was like, this is where I am, and I would love to take you out to coffee. I'd love to buy you coffee and just talk and get to hear about like your journey, where you've been, how you got to where you are. And if you have any critiques for me, like I would love to hear them. And sometimes people are really, really nice. I feel like most people are really, really nice when you reach out to them. Not even just at Disney, but anywhere, because you know, when people are excited and they like compliment you saying like, everybody wants to talk about themselves, everybody. And so when you give people an opportunity to like talk about themselves and share their experience with you, why wouldn't they want to? Obviously there are those exceptions, and there are some people who are not the nicest, but that's very rare, and it thankfully hasn't happened to me yet. If anything, people just won't respond to you, which happens sometimes too. But this girl, she like reached back out to me. I could tell that she looked at my website. We got coffee. She paid for my coffee, which was so nice. We met up at Disney Springs, a public and safe place, and we talked about it, and I got so much information about her, what she did in her job, how she got there, what her past experience was like, and she gave me so much advice that was catered to me because she looked at my website, she looked at my resume, and she was able to tell me, I think this is good, I think you could develop this a little bit more. I know that my manager really likes this in an intern, blah, 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 and that helped me so much with figuring out what I needed to work on and where I needed to develop, so that the next time I applied, I was exactly what they wanted. And so network with people, just do it. You're gonna be so thankful later. And then again, if you find someone who has your dream job, copy and paste that description into that document. Don't forget it, because I'm gonna talk about it soon. Okay, now that networking is over, it is, well, networking is never over, never stop networking, but now it's time to get into internships, and I'm not talking about the dream internship just yet. I'm talking about a little bit lower scale, and while sometimes I encourage you to apply to those big time internships all the time, because any experience you can get in that process is good, valuable experience, but most of the time people don't apply to their dream internship the first time and get it the first time. Or with no experience or no internships beforehand. So it's best to start with smaller internships before. And so at least that was my experience. And you can find these internships on campus. You can find them in your hometown. You can look them up under different names. Like, don't be stuck with, for example, if you want to do an internship in social media because you want a job in social media someday, don't just look up social media internships on Google and only social media internships, because so many different businesses and companies name their internships such different things. Like, if I just looked up social media internship and I saw that Universal had no social media internships, I would have totally missed out on my job, because our social media team is called their content engagement team, which runs just a tiny bit different from a normal social media team in a big company. And I would have totally missed that if I didn't know that that was the name. And so don't get stuck on looking for one kind of name, you know? So like, if you're into social media, like, look up video production internships, look up communications internships, or public relations internships, advertising, marketing. Yeah, if you're in engineering, look at software engineering, or any, I don't know anything about engineering. I don't know why I brought that up as an example, but you get what I'm saying. Like, look it up under different names and different titles, because then you're really broadening your scope and you're able to see what's available around you. And so that was just a little tidbit of my information. But again, a lot of colleges have a lot of internships that you can do right on your campus, very easy to get to. A lot of the companies and businesses around you have internships at your hometown. Like, sometimes at your hometown, if it's like a town with no colleges at all, that's even better, because there's less competition to get that internship. And like, look out over there. I didn't even know that there were businesses in my town that had internships until I was looking for it, and I didn't even realize it. But another really big tip I have here is, when you're looking for those internships, don't get stuck on the ones that have listings. Pitch yourself to people. 2 of the internships that I have had throughout my college career were internships that did not have job listings. In fact, at some of them, they didn't even exist, and I had to reach out to them for them. So 2 of my internships, I emailed the hiring manager saying, hey, I'm so-and-so. This is my experience. I would love to work with you. Blah, 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 blah. And they reached out to me, and they were like, oh my goodness, you have such wonderful experience. Like, I would love to work with you too. And 2 of the internships I got, I got because I reached out to them offering to work with them, and not the other way around. And those were 2 very valuable experiences of mine. And I would have never gotten that had I never just sent email. Like, if you have to send 1,000 emails, send 1,000 emails, because somewhere it's gonna stick. send your portfolio, send your website, all of that. We're gonna talk about those materials a little bit later, but that's gonna help you so much, and it's gonna be internships that people aren't applying for, which means the competition has gone down tremendously, and you are first on their minds because you had the ambition and you had the drive to reach out to them, and that just positions you so well in people's minds, and so that's gonna help you get those internships too. So reach out to people, reach out. Okay, so now that you're doing those smaller internships, it still is very relevant to all the things I talked about. Stay on top of documenting what you do in those internships. So any internship I had an internship notebook, and in this notebook I wrote down what I did every single day, and I do this to this very day. Like, I write down every single thing I do every single day, so that when I'm done with the internship I can look back and I have very detailed documentation of every single thing I've done, every project I worked on, every project I own, every piece of content I created, like literally everything. I knew what I did, so that way when I am going to update my website, or I'm going to update my resume or my LinkedIn, or let's say I'm preparing for an interview, I know exactly what I did, because it's so easy to forget what you did. And sometimes people will ask you, it's the same thing, like if at the end of the day somebody, like a friend or family member, asks you, so what did you do today? You're like, what did I do today? You don't want that to happen. You did this valuable experience, you did that work for a reason. Now it's time to show up and talk about it, you know? So use a notebook, or however you want to document it, to document what you did so that you can communicate it best and show, no, I'm a rock star and I have this experience, and let me tell you about it. So that's my 2 cents on that. Again, network while you're in those internships too. Because your hiring managers likely know people from their circles and all that, and you will meet a ton of people from that as well. Okay. Moving on from those internships, so now you have, okay, let's just go through all the stuff that we've just covered. We covered job descriptions and going through those. We've covered campus involvement and experience. We've covered networking and internship, like lower skill internships. And now it is time to gather all of these materials and get ready for that application. So now we have this document, this precious document with the job description of the job that you want, with the job responsibilities of the people who have had it in the past that you know, and now you just have this information that now it's time to go in deep with this document. So where you're going to go from here is under every single preferred qualification and skill, you're going to analyze it, and you're going to think, okay, what experience do I have and that I gathered from my campus involvement and experience and my internships that relate to this preferred qualification of this company or wherever it is. And you're going to write it underneath that bullet point, everything that you have done and everything that you have learned, everything that you know that relates to that qualification, to show, okay, I have that, I'm a master at that, and I'm the best at this. Okay, so if you're a writer, right, I wrote for her campus, I wrote blogs for this, I wrote articles for this, I wrote articles for the news, I wrote copy for websites, blah 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 blah. And you'll see all of that, and you'll do it detailed, write down where you got that experience, what projects you worked on that relate to that. It's gonna help you a ton, and do that for every single preferred qualification for that job. Like I said, this document's gonna get pretty hefty, but if you do this while you're getting the experience, so I don't suggest waiting until before you're applying to something to start doing this. You have this document, work on it throughout your experience, and after every experience you get, plug it into that document so that it's kind of growing a long time with you, and you're not stuck having to sit down and think, okay, I did this, I did that. This way it's kind of growing with you. It's an updated document, it's living, it's alive, and it is growing with you. So you're going to write how your experience relates to every single preferred qualification. That's gonna make this document so hefty. It's gonna be huge. And it's gonna be so good, because then you're proving, as you're doing this, you're gonna start proving to yourself, like, whoa, like this is, I just said whoa. If you know, you know. But yeah, you're gonna be like, whoa, I started off not having any of this experience, and now I have been working towards these qualifications, and I've gotten all this experience, and I can prove how I know how to do every single one of these things, and I can prove that I've mastered every single one of these things through my experience. Now you're proving to yourself by doing this that you have the experience to kill it at this job or this interview, this application, whatever it is. And then this also helps you when you are writing your resume. This helps you when you are forming your portfolio and talking to recruiters and hiring managers, because you know that you're a rock star, and now you can tell them that you're a rock star and perfect for this job because you have the facts. You got the receipts saying that you are perfect for this internship. So go through those preferred qualifications, go through them. Once you've gone through the preferred qualifications and you have written down all of your experience that is relevant and supporting, now you're gonna go to those people that we copy and pasted those responsibilities from their LinkedIn. You're gonna go to them and you're gonna think of those responsibilities that they had in that job as more preferred qualifications. And you're gonna go through again, and even if you have to copy and paste things from the preferred qualifications up top, which is a good thing, you're gonna go ahead and write underneath every single one of the responsibilities how in your previous experience you have done something related or relevant, or that says, oh, okay, I have done this as well, I can do this, I know how to do this. Because that way, sometimes it's a little bit different, like I said before, and that's gonna really help you when forming that application, all of those application materials again, because you know they did this, I can do this too. So that's really helpful as well. Also with those people, I don't know if I mentioned this before, but when you're looking at those people and you're networking, also don't just look at that dream job that they had that you want. Also look at what they did before they got that dream job and see what internships and experience that they got before getting that, because that's gonna help mold you, and that's gonna help you think, okay, what kind of places do I need to be going to get that pre-experience so that I can land this internship too. Okay, so we have got this document rolling, we are working on this application. Now it is time to spruce up that resume. And so what's so great is that you have already formatted all of your experience to this job. Basically, now what you have to do is just take those preferred qualifications, take all of that experience that you put underneath every single qualification and plug it into your resume. That's it. Your resume is practically written when you have a document like this, because you already have all your experience, you already know all of the experience that relates to what they're looking for in this job, and now your resume is practically already tailored to this job, and you are already ready to just copy and paste things into your resume and clean it up a little bit, and you're good to go. Your resume is written. Voila, chef's kiss. Perfect. Okay, so now your resume is written. I always suggest writing a cover letter. You'll find it different everywhere you go. Some places, hiring managers won't even breathe on the cover letter. Like, they won't look at it once. Some places, they will look at it with a highlighter and a pen, scrutinizing every word. So I say write one no matter what, because if anything, it can only help you. Rarely will it ever hurt you. And it'll set you apart, you know? Your resume very much talks about your professional experience. I think that your cover letter, while it does that as well, definitely says a little bit more about your voice and who you are. So feel free to go to do that. Do it. I highly suggest it. And then on top of that, like I said, you already use the verbiage, you're already tailoring everything to what is on that document of yours. You already have those skills on there. You are using, you're showing your skills, you're showing the things that you are certified in and all of that stuff. And so now your resume and your cover letter is done, and now we're gonna talk about portfolio. So, portfolio is a little bit different for everybody. Not everyone needs a portfolio. Not every job needs a portfolio. To be honest, I don't know, I guess teachers could use a portfolio, maybe, sort of. I don't think it could hurt. I don't think that it will ever hurt you to have a place that has evidence of all that you've done. I don't think that'll ever hurt you in your whole life. If anything, it'll set you apart, so I encourage it. But there are just some careers that you just don't like. Let's say, I don't know, maybe you major in math. Like, maybe it's just because I'm like naive about math and I don't know a single thing about how you would write a portfolio for a math person, but I'm just like, what would you put in a portfolio if you do math and like stats and stuff? I don't know. If you know, hey, help people, tell them. But like instances like that, I just don't think portfolios totally necessary. Maybe it is. I'm not sure. I can't really help you there. But a portfolio will never hurt, especially if you're in a communications field or a creative field. You better have a portfolio, like point blank and done. If you want to go into social media, get yourself a portfolio. Make a website. There are plenty of free website providers, Squarespace, Wix, WordPress. The list goes on and on and on. I personally am a really big fan of Wix. but get yourself a portfolio like mine right now. So you're more than welcome to go to my website. Please do. I try to update it fairly often. It needs a little bit of updating right now. It is www.adrianalsantiago.com, and this is my portfolio. So it has examples of social posts that I've done. It has examples of blogs and articles that I've written. It has examples of graphic design things that I've done. It has examples of my photography, so all of my graphics. It has examples of videos that I have edited and filmed and produced. And this is a place where people can go and see the proof. You know, I can talk about what I did all day long. I can write in my resume that I did this, and that, but I could lie too. I mean, am I gonna lie? No, but people do it. And so your portfolio is a place where you can show up and be like, no, like I really know how to do this. Here is the proof. I created this here. Like, please look at it. And be prepared to make this as updated as possible. Know what's on it. Know what's on your portfolio. Know how it supports what's on that job description. Know how it supports what's on your resume, because people will look at it and they will pull it up. So when I was interviewing for my internship at Universal, during my interview, one of the people who interviewed me, he literally during our interview pulled out his laptop, had my website open, turned it around to me and said, show me the project or whatever it is that's on here that you are most proud of and tell me about it. And I was like, oh really? Okay. And I was not prepared for that at all. And that caught me off guard because I'm a very prepared individual, and I had my document ready. I studied my document, which we'll get to that in a little bit. And I was so ready for this, and I was just not ready for that. Thankfully, I had an idea because I stare at my website all the time. But I wasn't prepared for that. So be sure that you know your website inside and out, because that is the only thing that saved me in that moment. Know your portfolio. They do look at it, and it is a tool for you to talk about yourself, and it like let yourself tell your story through that. Let yourself prove that you know what you're talking about through your portfolio. And if you guys ever wanted me to do a video on like portfolios and stuff like that, like please let me know, because I just loved making mine. I love updating mine all the time, and I'd love to talk about it. So if you ever want a video on that, let me know in the comments below. Or a video on anything in here, just like let me know any of your comments down below. Okay. So now the application is done, you've sent it off, you have your document done, you've got your portfolio done, your resume's killer because that document helped you, your cover letter is done. Okay, now it is time for the interview. And this is actually, to me, my favorite part of this whole process is the interview. Because I love talking to people, and I feel like nobody's gonna tell you about me better than me, so let me tell you about me, you know? And so once you get this interview, first off, congratulations, you got the interview. This is huge. You have made it so far. We've made it so far, and we're almost done. I promise. I know this video is long, but it's gonna be so helpful if you stick to the end, I promise. Okay, so interview prep. This document that we've been talking about that has been growing and evolving, this is where this document is just gonna shine. I mean, it's already shown so bright because it helped you write your resume so perfectly tailored to this job. But now going to your interview, you need to know two things. You need to study two things going into an interview. You need to study the job. You need to study what you're going to need to be doing in this job. You're going to need to study exactly what they expect out of somebody in this job or this internship. I keep saying job and internship interchangeably because it pretty much is for this video. But you need to know exactly what the company is like. Like, do your research on the company. What kind of challenges do they face? What kind of products or brands or things do they own? Get to know the company. So get to know the company, get to know the job. Second thing is get to know yourself, because somebody can walk into that interview and be an expert on, I work for Universal, let's say you can be an expert on Universal, but if somebody asks you a question about yourself and how you worked on XYZ project and you're blank and you cannot think of a single thing from that internship, you cannot remember a single thing about what you did at that internship, you're gonna be so screwed because you cannot prove that you are who you said you are on paper. So it is not enough to use this document to write your resume. Now it is time, before the interview, use this document and study up on yourself. You've already studied up on the company, or you should be. Now it's time to study up on you. So look through this document, look at all of your experience. What have you done? what have you done throughout your whole professional experience that relates to this job? Thankfully, it already exists on this document. You already know what you've done. You already know what they want. You already know how what you've done relates to what they want. You already know how people who have done this job in the past, how they did it. And you already know how what you've done in the past relates to what those people did in the past in this job. So you really have all the information on this job already if you created this document. Now it's just time to get to know it. Get to know the document, read it over, remind yourself of all of those projects that you did. Be specific, think of specific projects, think of specific examples, because those are really gonna help you tell your story when you go into that interview, and it's gonna make you so much more peaceful because you're prepared and ready for anything. So, and then of course, also come in with questions prepared for the interviewer, whether it's related to the job, whether it's related to their journey, always think of those questions as well. So, yeah, oh my goodness, I think we're done. So, what we've covered today is job description, campus involvement / experience, networking, internships, application, and interview prep. There is one final step to this whole process. You know what it is? Celebrate. Freaking celebrate that you are about to get the dream internship that you have always wanted, because this is a lot of work and you have done a lot. And you deserve it because you have worked very hard for this. So yes, celebrate when you are done with all of that, because if you are someone who actually goes through all of this and you care this much to put in this amount of effort to make sure your dreams come true, you absolutely deserve it, and don't let anybody tell you otherwise. Like, if you work this hard, you deserve it. And so I have actually done everything I just told you. Like, I actually have lived and breathed through a document like the one that we talk about. I still have it on my computer today. I go into every interview prepared with that document. I even keep it on my phone so that when I'm in the waiting room, I'm looking through it. I have lived and breathed what I have told you today. Like, I have walked this walk, and it has helped me so much. I came up with this method by myself just to kind of help me, and I'm so happy that I get to share it with you, because I don't think that this information should be kept quiet and silent with me. Like I said, I want everybody to succeed and just live their dreams, and hopefully I help you do that with this information. So this video is 9 years long, but I know that if you watch it to the end, this is going to help you so much. And so yeah, I'm so happy and I'm so excited that I share this with you, because I really think that this is going to transform your professional journey, and it's going to help you get those dream internships. And so yes, thank you guys so much for watching. Again, I hope this helped you. I truly think that this is gonna like really gear you up for success. If you have any questions for me, comment them down below. If this has helped you, if this method is helpful to you, let me know in the comments below too. I would love feedback on how I can make this method better. If you have any more tips, put them down below. Let's help each other out. Let's help each other grow and reach those dreams. But yes, thank you guys so much for watching, and go make your dreams come true. All right, have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.